What's going on, everybody? American Football Network here today, and today we are bringing you our Carolina Panthers mock draft. But before we get started, make sure you guys go like and subscribe the video, comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Help us hit our goal of 650 subs by the end of February. Check out the podcast, the website, the Patreon page, the Cash App, and the PayPal if you're interested in watching or supporting us in other ways. We appreciate all of our viewers. Like I said, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section about this video, but let's go ahead and get started with it. So the Panthers' first pick will be the 9th pick. We'll see who they leave available for me. Will Anderson's still available at 9. He's not going to last that long, so I'm not picking him because that isn't realistic. Obviously, I would take him, but obviously he would be a good pick to go, but it's not realistic that Will Anderson will not be on the board at 9. So with that being said, I'm going to go with Anthony Richardson. You look at the Panthers depth chart, their quarterbacks are Sam Darnold, PJ Walker, Jacob Eason. Matt Corral spent the whole year on the IR. He could be pretty good. I do think he could be pretty good. But then if you draft Richardson, you got a guy who's definitely going to be able to start for you week 1, who's not going to be injured. But not only that, then you have the option of between Richardson and Corral, one of the two will work out for you. So you have that as well. One of the two of them are going to work out for you. So now I'm looking at the wide receiver position, and I'm going to go with Zay Flowers here, the wide receiver from Boston College. When you look at the wide receiver room for the Panthers, they have DJ Moore, Terrace Marshall, and Shi Smith. They also have Laviska Shenault. But I think getting a guy like Zay Flowers puts this receiving core to the next level when you put him with DJ Moore. I don't think he'll last this long. I think he'll be a first rounder. And so with that case, I think the pick would be Kayshon Boutte, who I think is also a very good receiver. But yeah, Zay Flowers on the board, who could potentially slide the 39. I'm going to take him, although I do think he's going first round. So next up, we'll be looking for, here's my guy right here. And that is Andre Carter for Army. When you look at this defense for Carolina, their edge rushers, Brian Burns and Yetur Gross-Matos. You look at what those two guys did this year. If it'll load. There we go. Brian Burns, obviously very good player, was drafted with the 16th pick back in the 2019 draft, 24, had 12.5 sacks this year, tied for 8th in the league. But Yetur Gross-Matos was drafted in 2020, second-round pick from Penn State. He hasn't done so well. He only had 2.5 sacks this year out of Penn State. But I think a guy like Andre Carter, you can also put him at middle linebacker, play him some there. Primarily going to be an edge rusher, and I think, or an outside linebacker type, which you look at Shaq Thompson and Frankie Luvu. So I think Andre Carter would be a good pickup there for the Panthers. So their next pick is going to be 93. We'll see who's on the board here for 93. We'll look at the corners. Oh, Eli Ricks there. DJ Turner is actually who I'm going with here, the cornerback from Michigan. You look at the Panthers corners. They have C.J. Henderson, who he's a solid player. He's not a terrible corner, but he definitely could be better. You got J.C. Horn, who was on the IR and injured. He's a great player. T.J. Carey as well. So cornerback is definitely a position that the Panthers could use. And so I think that DJ Turner is a great corner. I think he's a lockdown defender, can play man, zone, whatever you need to ask him to do. He's experienced, played a lot of football in Michigan, and so I think that he is the best way to go right there. At 114, I'm going to go with Sean Tucker, the running back from Syracuse. This is a guy that tore it up in college at Syracuse in the run game. Guy that can very versatile out of the backfield, can also can also block pretty well for you. So I think he's a very good pickup there. Next pick, I'm going with Joe Tippmann, the guard from Washington. This is a guy who can really help improve this Panthers offensive line. When you look at their guards, they have Brady Christensen. Believe he's a rookie. I know he came out of BYU either last year or the year before. I believe he's a rookie though. So you got him, who's in my opinion more of a tackle. Yeah, he was drafted last year, round 3, pick 70. I think he should be more of a tackle, like a right tackle, maybe left tackle, but they played him at guard. They definitely a guy that a position that they could upgrade at. And so I think that Joe Tippmann right there is the best way to go. And then with pick number 147 and the last pick for the Panthers, I'm going to go with Byron Young, another defensive lineman for them. Byron Young is incredible defensive lineman out of Alabama. He's the second best Byron Young in this draft class, as Byron Young from Tennessee, also who plays D-line, is potentially a guy who can sneak into the first round. But, yeah, I think both of them were solid. I think, obviously, the Byron Young from Alabama, he's a guy who's going to go late in the draft, but a guy that's experienced, played some good football, and a guy that can make some plays for you later on. He's going to need a year or two to develop, maybe more than that, but he's a guy that give him a few years and he could be a good rotational piece for you on that defensive line. So recap of the draft: 9th pick, Anthony Richardson, quarterback from Florida. 39th pick, Zay Flowers, wide receiver, Boston College. 61st pick, Andre Carter, edge from Army. 93rd pick, DJ Turner, cornerback from Michigan. 114, Sean Tucker, running back, Syracuse. 132, Joe Tippmann, guard from Wisconsin, and at 147, Byron Young, the D lineman from Alabama. So that pretty much wraps today's video up. Make sure you guys comment down below what you think I should have done differently, what picks you like. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on today's video. Once again, help me reach 650 subscribers by the end of February. Check out the description for our podcast, website, Patreon page, Cash App, PayPal, and also you basketball fans, check out our basketball channel. The link is also in the description. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time.